At the time is 6:02 p.m. The September 16, 2024 regular meeting of the New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees is hereby called to order. Let the minutes show that all board members, with the exception of Ms. Prickle and Ms. Tompkins, are present at this meeting. And this meeting has been called in accordance with the Texans Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. All the items that will be discussed or voted on this evening have been posted as required by state law. I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone tonight, and we are pleased that you have taken this time this evening to join us. On behalf of the New Caney ISD Board, we're pleased that you have joined us, and we have celebrated the achievement, set goals, listen to reports, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. We are not here to make management decisions or to solve problems of the individuals. Management is the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a meeting in the public, not a meeting of the public. As our guests, we welcome you to observe and listen. If you would, please rise for the invocation to be given by Ms. Harrell, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and honor the Texas flag to be led by Mr. Trout.
Please bow your head. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us here today to take care of the business of our school district. Yeah, special blessing upon our educators, our faculty, staff, students. We ask that you would watch over our first responders who keep us safe both at home and those who represent us abroad. Be with us through the upcoming months and throughout this meeting. Help us to make good decisions that honor and glorify you. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yep.
But
The United States of America,
it's a republic,
which is state,
one nation, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Honor it says flag. With allegiance to thee to have one state under God, one indivisible.
Item 2 on the agenda is open forum. The board will now hear comments from those persons who have signed up to speak. I believe we have one person. That is Cynthia Serafine. Is it? All right. I want to make sure I got that right. I just have to read this opening statement real quick before you get started. The board encourages comments from citizens of the district or employees, anyone wishing to speak, either as an individual or as a representative of a group, may do so at this time. The board asks comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 5 minutes. Remember, the board may not discuss any issues that are posted on our agenda. If an issue mentioned is listed on tonight's agenda, the board will defer discussion until the appropriate time during this meeting. In addition, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest administrative level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. You can also find these policies on our district website, newcaneyisd.org. And you.
My name is Cynthia Serafine. I am with the Taylor's organization. I am the state secretary, and what we've done is we've come to present a plaque to Matt Calvert from the Taylor's organization and East Montgomery County Fair. This is to represent and tell you how much we appreciate what you do in our community and for our kids. It's an honor working side by side with y'all, especially when we do our rodeos. With all the money that we did raise, it did go back to the kids on Saturday. Being able to work with you every year is an honor, and we just want to keep up that relationship. So, Matt, this is a plaque for you to hang on your wall and represent, our leadership together.
There you go. Thank you, Cynthia. We appreciate the presentation, and to the tailored organization. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is the superintendent report presented by Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir. Kind of keeping with the fair theme here, we got a special guest with us tonight, Miss Abigail Goolsby, our East Montgomery County Fair Queen. So, Abigail, you want to? She's the only one in the room with a crown, so go ahead and stand up. Or at least I think she is. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's the first Fair Queen from West Fork High School. So, setting a high precedent there. So, Abigail, congratulations. Like we just heard, the fair is very successful this year. Appreciate our community supporting our kiddos. Everything goes back to the kids. Thanks to the board for that. So, it was a great fair. But Abigail, congratulations. Okay, next up, asked Mr. Carroll to come to give a department update. He's got some folks that are going to get some well-deserved recognition. This group of folks is definitely some of the unsung heroes of the district, especially the first couple of weeks of school. We always tell our principals, you get them in, you get them fed, you get them home. And this group right here is 2/3 of that equation. So, or some of them are at least. So we really do appreciate them. It is definitely a thankless job. I bet in the past few weeks they haven't got a phone call that says, thank you for getting my kid back and home safely, but just know we recognize it. We appreciate it. And then the other part of that, getting them fed, our child nutrition team is here. So, Mr. Carroll, I know you want to give some well-deserved recognition of these folks. We'll kick it over to you.
I'll start with child nutrition. I'll introduce the new director. Robin Thacker is our new director of child nutrition, and her assistant is Mr. Carlos Arojo. Just want to tell you just an update about their department. Right now they have 20 kitchen managers, about 145 campus-based personnel, and what I call 15 specialists that does menus, concessions, chow wagon, big thing right there. Takes care of payroll. She has 50 guys in the office to do that. But here's some numbers that they've done in August so far. They served 117,938 breakfasts in August, or an average of 6,552 a day. They served 229,569 lunches, or 12,753 per day. And they've now incorporated dinners for the extracurricular and the athletic teams' pregame meals that they've been doing, and they've done it every Friday since school started. And the big thing, they also have concessions. They come on for volleyball and football. And one thing that I want to just talk about them in general, Miss Robbins come in, Carlos has been relatively new also, come in, haven't missed a beat, doing a great job. And the child nutrition department, when you take over somebody that worked for 30 years, you come in and you just kind of see how it's going, and she's doing a great job with that right now.
Hey.
Next up, local legend, Mr. Jeremy Harris, Director of Support Services. Jeremy has got one of the unique, I had this job before, so I know a little bit about it. He's unique because he has multiple departments inside his own. And custodial side, he's got a custodial supervisor, 20 head custodians, and 129 custodians, and they clean 30 buildings and a total of 3.2 million square feet every night. Huge, and we're growing every day. So Mr. Wrestlers, keep adding, and we'll keep you on it. He also has the warehouse, which incorporates 6 workers, which 5 of them deal with warehouse, 1's a mail carrier. And those duties in the warehouse include, they did 2,000 work orders last year. And a work order can stem from anything from delivering desks, bringing machines. We've had a water leak. We need a fan. We need different things. So he's done 2,000, or about 9.8 per day. The other thing they do, they work on machines. They do record retention. They run the auction for the district. They have textbook storage. They deliver mail every day. But the most important one, in my opinion, that the warehouse does, they're the guardians of the chow wagon grills. And they take care of all those Fridays when Jeremy and his crew are help cooking. It's a great time. So Jeremy's doing a good job. He's got 2 really good supervisors, Jessica and Robert. They make his job very easy. Both of them elected to stay home with their families tonight instead of come up here, but we'll give them a hard time tomorrow about that. Thank you, Jeremy. All right. The group that has the most, I love it. We're going to start off with transportation. The director is Miss Barbara Rendon. She's coming. Hold on. And these guys never get the recognition, so I want to introduce her coordinators as they go. One that's been here, she drove me, I'm just joking, not piloting. Miss Judy Otto, she's in charge of routing, but the Woodridge Forest Middle School drivers report to her. Miss Jessica Bell, and I'm going to quote Miss Waldrop, if I didn't have Jessica, I wouldn't be able to have a job. She handles all the sped students and their routing. Plus, she deals with our friends to the south with Humble and 5 campuses, and she coordinates with them without a flaw. Melissa Bastian is in charge of student discipline and the Porter High drivers. And when we say student discipline, think about they transport thousands of kids every day. She gets to meet and greet and call parents. It's a fun job. Leslie Leader, she's coming out. She's in charge of payroll and the Keeper Crossing middle school drivers. And we're proud of Leslie. She's got, as you see, she's got a little bit of over there. She on Miss Day. She's here every day. She does her job. We're proud that she's back. Jennifer Nunley is in charge of routing, but she also has the White Oak and the Pine Valley Middle School feeder. And then we have Johnny McCowan, who does the training, which think about somebody who comes without a certificate, she gets them going. And she handles the Infinity and the West Fork drivers. And then last but not least, this lady, I'm telling you, she's done everything. She drives, she did the part room, she handles mechanics, but she just taken over. She's now the department secretary, and that would be Miss Kelsey Ricard Goolsby. A couple of quick things about their department. Barbara has 120 drivers, 17 aides, 3 dispatchers right now, 2 lead mechanics, 4 general mechanics, and 3 preventive maintenance specialists. And they work, their hours aren't 8 to 5. Their hours about 3:30 in the morning to about 8:30. Then they take a nap. Then they come back, allegedly. I'm teasing, not y'all, the drivers. Then they come back about 1 o'clock, and then they work till 5 if there's no trips, other things. So this year we put a task on them. We've been working on them with Mr. Wrestler in the past and Miss Rendon, and we've put it into the 3 tiers. We changed the times, and we were a little nervous about it, but we're getting the kinks out and things going. So I'll give you some numbers of this. They travel approximately 18,564 miles on 111 buses per day. They transport in the morning to pick up kids, over 6,500 kids every morning. They take home over 9,600 every evening. And for the first time, as far as I know, Barbara's added an activity route for high schools this year to get those kids that need extra help. We take another route to take them home so that they can't use the excuse, I don't have a ride. Well, now they have a ride, and the grades are going up, the attendance things are going up. And that was from these guys over here. So this is our transportation department, and I'm very proud of them. All right. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, again, thank you. That group, we couldn't do it without you. So we really do appreciate y'all, everything you do that we notice, and those things that we will never know, but we knows when you don't. So thank y'all so much. Next little update I wanted to give y'all, this time of year, some districts are putting out, accountability updates as far as, star scores, all that kind of stuff from last year. The board is provided that this evening as an information only item. Mainly because our public report's coming soon. I know everybody's seen it in the news that there's an injunction that several districts have filed against the state, kind of similar to what they did last year. And so we want to make sure that information is right before we present it. You can literally log into that system on Monday and see one set of data, log into it on Tuesday, and your data has changed and you've done nothing. So we just want to make sure that that information is right, it's correct, before we put it out there. So that will be coming soon, but just wanted everybody to know that that is why it's not on there tonight, because we want to give our community the right information, the right data. Third thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, recently we've been dealing with a lot of school safety incidents, social media threats, things of that nature. And so I just wanted to update our folks, our parents, the audience here on some things we're doing. Also this afternoon, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office put out a press release. It's not just New Caney. I know we think we're special, but it's not just us experiencing this one. It is everybody. And so I just wanted to kind of go over a few things right now, just to hopefully ease some minds and calm some nerves, because I know, especially as a parent myself, you want to know that you're dropping your kids off in a safe space. Just want to let y'all know what we're doing. So since that September 4th tragedy at the high school in Georgia, everybody has seen a huge uptick in these threats, primarily made through social media. So over the past few days since then, our police department, student services department, and various campus administrators, they've investigated every single one of these threats made towards our schools. None of these threats have been substantiated. That sheriff's release also says that as well. Main sources of these threats have come from social media. And so one thing that we just want to really make sure that we get out there is we truly do appreciate students, parents, whomever it may be, using our Safe School reporting mechanism on our website. That's how all this stuff gets taken care of. Those come in, and then we are aware. And I think what I really wanted to say is, when we send that message out, you get that remind message, and the principal's like, hey, we're aware of a threat made towards X. Want to elaborate on what aware means and what's going on behind the scenes. So the person that turns that in, they're contacted by an NCISD staff member. That's somebody from student services. That could be Mr. Simons, Mr. Castleberry, Dr. Condarco, or the police department. That's made almost immediately. So it's not like, the ones we get on Saturday and Sunday, we wait till Monday morning at 8 o'clock. You could get a phone call, you could get a knock on your door, you could get something at 3 o'clock in the morning. It happened this past weekend. So those are addressed immediately. Then it continues until we get to the source of the potential threat. And due to all these threats being on social media, it does take some time to sort through posts and get back to where they originated. To do that, we have to involve potentially other local agencies, state agencies, federal agencies, because we have to peel back all the layers to figure out who was the original poster on that. So that takes some time. During those investigations, a principal is empowered and encouraged to send out a message to parents, letting them know that, again, we've become aware and we're investigating it. We do realize that parents want to know more. I can't argue with that. I appreciate that. They want to know more. They want to send their kids to a safe place. But a lot of those details we can't release because, again, active law enforcement investigation, and I think it's more important a lot of times to get the right information out than to jump the gun and get some potential misleading information out. So again, our principals are empowered to do that. And just kind of summing it up, we take all these threats seriously. None of these, there's no such thing as just getting tagged onto it. These aren't jokes. They're not, I was just getting around with my friend in the hallway. Every single one of these is going to be looked into to the fullest extent possible. We do refer those to the county attorney, the juvenile prosecutor. So there may be criminal charges involved on some of these things. And then we also apply all district discipline consequences per the student code of conduct. So again, the main thing we need help on, and I asked Grant to kind of zoom in on this part, is it starts at home. Parents need to monitor what their kids are doing. They need to talk about it. They need to make them aware of the consequences of their actions. Just an innocent Facebook post or, playing around, it can go down a road really quick that they don't want to go down. Once it in our hands, once it in those guys' hands in the back of the room with the badge on, there's no coming back. And so we really do need help from parents and guardians to talk to their kid about this situation. We are actually filming a video tomorrow with some of our principals, some of our police officers to send out as well, just elaborating on the seriousness of this, things to do to help, curb this trend. So we'll be sending that out this week. As I mentioned earlier today, Sheriff's Department put out a great media advisory, and Dr. Powers already sent this to all parents in the district via remind. And so everybody's got that to see. I really like what they did, what to do, not up by law enforcement immediately, use those reporting mechanisms. And I think what's really important is what not to do. Do not share posts or screenshots of potential threats. This can escalate fear and spread information or misinformation. That's what we're feeling right now in our school. Share and send. I think today, last time I checked, Dr. Powell's back there, I think New Caney High School is like 66% attendance today because of all the way this misinformation is spread. So, our kids, and for good reason, parents want to be reassured. They kept their kid home today just because of all the misinformation that is spread. Again, avoid engaging with anonymous or newly created accounts that are posting these threats. There's some pointers out there from the Sheriff's Department. We'll put some out there. Campuses have a lot of great information, but at this point, we just really need parents' help to step in and pay attention to what your kid's doing. Because once again, it gets in our hands, it gets in our police department's hands. It's already started down a road you can't come back from. So we just really need your help with that. Again, we'll be having more about that in the coming days. One more thing from me, and then I'm going to be done with superintendent's report, is I believe it was last month or month before in July, Mr. Turner had a question and Ms. Harrell had a question at the end of the meeting. We always ask, is any topics we need to discuss? And correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Chad, but Mr. Turner brought up a question about fighting on campus and what we do when one occurs. So, we do, when there is a fight on campus, it begins with our police department, campus administration. These disturbances, these fights, they're all referred to law enforcement and potentially to the juvenile prosecutor department over in the county. So we refer everything, depending on the nature of it. Sometimes there are charges, sometimes there's not. At the same time, the district is investigating it, and they assign discipline per the student code of conduct. So that could be in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, or placement in TLC, our alternative school. So that's kind of what wheels get turning when we do have a fight on a campus. That led to Ms. Harrell asking the question about vaping, because I mentioned that a lot of space in our TLC building is taken up these days because of a new state law with vaping and making it a mandatory offense. So the reason that it's taking up that seat is we would rather put those kids that are causing that disturbance on campus in TLC versus that kid that vape. So just a little snapshot. As of today, there are 98 students in our alternative school, and 48, roughly half of them, are there as a result of a vaping offense. And so it's taking up a lot of seats that can be used for things such as making threats, causing disturbances, things like that. For 23-24 school year, there are approximately 406 placements in TLC. Of those, 181 were due to vaping. So again, roughly half of those placements were due to vaping. And so we really want to save those seats for kiddos that really cause a substantial disturbance. Looking at the audience in the room, think back to your days in school of how much of a disturbance did somebody smoking a cigarette outside the shop create. It didn't, but you have a big fight, that throws off your whole school day. And so that's what we're asking for. It leads into one of our legislative priorities. We're starting to meet with legislators. They need to give us local discretion back on the vaping. Because we know, the guys in the room, principals in the room, they know it's a disturbance on their campus. Somebody vaping in a restroom is not near disturbing at the fight. One of these threats we've seen. So we'll be advocating for that local control back on vaping offenses. So I hope that answers both y'all's questions. If not, I can continue, more data, more clarification, but just wanted to follow up on those questions from, I believe it was our July meeting. So.
We are forced by the because they think they know so the fear is so they said if they're vaping feeding the industry, like, and they to control independent.
Right. They took away the discretion we had put over there to be ability to do.
And so we made it that cheap. Oh, yeah, things that
Correct.
First make it extreme. If contact their let the figure say the space grass to meet feet there the ones big
It can kind of get local control there. They admit it, that was for sure. So that is what we're going to do.
Yep. Anybody else have any questions on it?
Make it.
Item number 4 on the agenda is reports and proposals of board members. You guys have anything for construction or anything? No? Good.
What's like at some point, good. So our community, especially in our schools, can see there's such a great thing that you show up the pop down in the house and every element that is space there, especially for the Caney ISD students who's good for a time. To see if any good impact on my body personally income not story than countless others sometimes. So they're not here to recognize that will send and volunteer there absolutely.
So, well, I think that like we're it was over $100,000 this year. So, adult was just over $100,000. So that would, how was that to pretty amazing? So,
Maybe we can get
yeah, we'll see if we can get that. All right. Item number 5 on the agenda is consent calendar, consisting of consideration of minutes, finance reports, purchasing reports, personnel reports, instruction reports, and local policy updates. Are there any questions or further discussion for the items on the consent calendar? No. Do we have a motion for the items on the consent calendar?
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Trout, second by Ms. Harrell. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, item 6 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now adjourn into closed session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551.074 for the purpose of personnel matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultation, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property. Any action as a result of the closed session discussion will take place after the board reconvenes an open meeting. The time is now 6:30 p.m.
Air CPR 4 for Highlands Elementary School for an emergency responder radio system. It is a $65,849 price tag to it. It's required by Montgomery County Fire Marshal and the new TEA.
Started putting that in a couple of years ago to ensure that first responders or communication works within buildings. And so it's adding this.
So moving forward on the new Caney visit come out today, will we be adding this in so we're not having to change order for it?
Yes, sir. On this particular project, it was kind of designed as a performance spec and to be put in later in the project, but we have a pretty good handle on what needs to go where for these systems without having to wait till we're occupying the building. And so we're going ahead and trying to do it now and get it in the building. But yes, sir, we certainly am ensuring.
At this point, it's something we need to do anyways. Why do this? Let's just move forward, say we've got it done, let's bid it, let's move on, and
You're exactly correct. You may see another one in the next month or two.
that's fine. But I mean, moving forward, we can make that change where we're not having to come before the board on something that we know we need to install. Let's just do it up front and get it right.
Absolutely.
Fair to say.
All right. Are there any further questions? Anything for discussion outside of that? Well, all right. Do we have a motion to approve the change order for Highlands Elementary School to add the emergency radio communication system?
Still moving.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Trout and a second by Ms. Earl. There be no further questions, discussion, vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 8 on the agenda is consider and discuss rescinding the previous action to propose termination on administrator for good cause presented by Christy Gates.
All right, so this is the situation we discussed in closed session. We are asking you to consider rescinding the previous action on the proposed termination of the administrator we discussed in closed session.
Any further questions? Anything for further discussion? But there being no further questions, vote will be taken. Oh, no, I never say. Sorry about that. Do we have a motion? Let's start with that.
I move.
Go ahead, Chad.
I move that we find that good cause did not exist for the employee discussed in closed.
Gilkin. This is the one I am supposed. I have to correct, which is
Back. Go back. Sorry.
Yep.
Miss Liz, would you go ahead and read your motion, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you. I move that the Board of Trustees rescinds the previous action to propose termination of the administrator discussed in closed session for good cause.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Harrell, second by Mr. Trout. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. What did I say? Oh, Turner. Sorry, my bad. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Item number 9 on the agenda is consider and take possible action to pursue sanctions for contract abandonment by a teacher from Sorters Mill Elementary, presented by Ms. Gates.
Yes, and as discussed in closed session, we have another teacher, this one from Sorters Mill Elementary, who chose to abandon their contract. And so, of course, in keeping with the consistent approach that we are having to do what's best for our kids to make sure our teachers are in the classrooms, we are moving forward with recommending a possible sanction to the State Board of Educator certification.
Okay. Are there any questions or further discussion? All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we find that good cause did not exist for the employee discussed in closed session to abandon their contract, and that the Board of Trustees further authorizes superintendent or his delegates to submit a written complaint for sanction at the State Board of Educator certification for contract abandonment by, 1, a teacher at Sorters Mill Elementary.
Yep. All right. Got a motion by Mr. Turner, second by Ms. Harrell. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, item number 10 on the agenda is future discussion topics. Do we have any future discussion topics to be discussed for the future board meetings? Anybody? Bueller? No. All right. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned. Time is now 7:43 p.m.